Hey, what's up, guys? It is OGC here at you with another Hero Spotlight. Today's Hero Spotlight is the Dumpling Master himself, Mr. Denji, the top chef. This is also OGC's Nemo's favorite hero in the game, so he is a very special hero. So for beginners, he is a gladiator. He is a staple for Rockin. So if you do play Rockin, and you ever plan on running monks, you'll definitely want Denji. If you do not play Rockin and you want a awesome hero that deals a bunch of damage, helps push on your power side as much as possible, Denji is for you. This is the gear setup that I have on Denji. It does not mean that it is the best gear setup, it's just what I am using. In fact, it is definitely not the best gear setup. For example, I do not have the completed Gladiator set, so I have to make do with Tectonic Axes. Because Denji has multiple different types of roles, there's definitely multiple ways of gearing him and or skilling him. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of them. And I'm also going to tell you why I chose the items I did. So for starters, I chose a Tectonic Great Axe to help him with damage mitigation. If you happen to have a completed, whoops, this Tectonic Axe, that is not what I'm looking for, guys. If you happen to have a completed Gladiator set, that will give way more damage mitigation. The Gladiator set and the Tectonic Axe do not stack. You'll actually take more damage if you equip both of them. To test it out for yourself is wild. But that is a big difference. So I run with, I think damage mitigation on Denji is important because he's going to be in the front and you want him alive. So Tectonic Axe or the Dragon set, either one is great. His regular set, that you can craft through the Void and or buying items from the Royal Archive will increase his damage against massive units by 200%. Someday that might actually not be bad, but for now, the Gladiator set, which comes from the Dragon, gives him 35% damage mitigation, and I don't think that is replaceable. I think that's just absolutely massive. I have no armors. It's very sad, but after this next update, I'll have a couple of completed sets. For the second weapon, because he is a gladiator, you have a ton of options. I go with the Flawless Skull Crusher because it can stun enemies when he does his spinning attack. It carries over into that. The stats aren't horrible on it, and I accidentally made a flawless one. It works. There are other options. You could go with the Hammer of Zeal if you're fighting, say, a bunch of Lich. You can go with a super high might one. You can even go with a Rapier to increase the damage that he, or the chance that he does crits. There's a bunch of options, so depending on what role your Denji is playing for you, that's what you can do. I like mine to be as tanky as possible, which is why I have a Hand of Wisdom on him. You can go with more of a might heavy one if you wanted for a accessory. Again, it's up to you. This is the Lucky Pouch. It gets dropped from the Void. It offers +1 to meet Dumpling, and these stats are absolutely awesome. There's 22 useful stats on this for me and a little bit of command. Very good for Denji. Under artifacts, you have a couple options actually. The Bloodmoor's Bite I did put on him because it carries over for his spinning damage. So he will heal for 30% of the damage dealt, and when his health is below 50%, it will go up and he'll heal for 60% of the damage dealt. The one less energy point used is kind of moot. He can go with tanky type of artifacts as well. I don't know if I have any readily available. He could go with a high-starred Hellguard. He could go with the main. Even the one star isn't horrible for Denji. But I do like the Bloodmoor's Bite on him. If this is 4-star, it would be on Jax, but since it's only 3-star, it is on Denji. When we look at items to queue up for more troops to increase your gold cap, um, 2 Masonic Scepters, because he can equip 2 weapons. Very important to use Masonic Scepters. They drop from Void 81. I do go with the Crown because it offers more command than the alternatives. For accessories, anything that offers high might, so a golden visage, his flawless hand of wisdom is still there, and for armor, whatever offers the most amount of might. I'm sorry, the most amount of command. Command you want to queue up for troops. Jeez, is it Friday yet? Now, under Denji's abilities, he has a bunch of them, and you can even if you're rocking or if you're whatever race you are, in whatever role Denji has, he's very flexible with his abilities depending on what you want him to do. So I think he's a very versatile champion who has a lot of options. So just because I have something does not mean that it's right. But to walk you through it all, he has a skill called Spinning Strike, and every so often Denji performs a spinning attack that will deal a ton of damage to nearby enemies, weakening their armor. So might increases this. Denji will do a spin, and when he does damage to units, they will then take more damage from your allies. So if Denji is on your power side and Jax and Mako or archers are behind, and Denji does the spinny thing, puts weakening armor onto all of those units are going to die a heck of a lot faster. This skill should probably be maxed out for me. It is not. It's a huge skill. Next we have Deflect. What Deflect is whenever he does the spinny thing for 2 seconds afterwards, he'll take reduced damage from pretty much most things that are ranged. At level 7 is 65%, at level 8 is 70%. That's a huge amount of reduction on top of his normal damage mitigation. This allows Denji to be somewhat tanky. Next we have Spring Ale. So Denji substitutes the standard Rockin' Ale with an improved recipe that heals Rockin' fighters for a bunch of health after drinking it. If you play Rockin' and or you borrow Rockin' troops, except for the turtle, but say you're going into the void and you're borrowing Rockin' swordsman, you'll want this skill maxed out. It will help with sustain of your troops. Next up we have Monk Mastery. Just like every mastery out there, if you use monks or if you are using borrowed monks, you will want this maxed out because it will benefit the monks drastically. If you are not using monks and you are not borrowing monks or anything like that, then you don't need any skills in here. The next one is Powerful Physique. So this just straight up gives Denji might, and it also gives him a chance to stun enemies that he hits. Might is a great thing for Denji, and might is a great thing overall for your army. So with these nine points in this, you get 45 bonus might overall for your whole army. That's quite significant. That's like multiple. It's like multiple items worth of might just from this one skill, so that can be very good. And then finally we have Meat Dumpling. This costs 1 energy, and Denji eats Dumpling. He recovers a ton of health over time, which you can then increase through healing efficiency. He gains a boost in his attack speed, and he takes less damage, and it lasts for 20 seconds. Stamina will boost up how much he is healed. Using this turns Denji from good to great. He turns full beast mode. He does a ton of spins. He's very, very hard to kill in this state, especially if you have a blood maw on him. That resurrection artifact's not bad on him if needed. I think it's still best on Mako, but it's not bad on Denji because he can come back. He has so much damage mitigation that it's really nice. Sometimes he can still feel squishy if he's singled out, but overall he offers a lot for your army. I was talking with somebody, I believe it was Alex, and he decides to skip powerful physique and go for um, higher skills for his combat efficiency. I think that works. If you're okay sacrificing might, uh, you feel comfortable where your might's at, maybe your opponents are a little bit weaker, or you're willing to sacrifice that stat, then yeah, go for it. Customize Denji so however you want it. Denji's not a one size fits all. Um, he definitely has a bunch of variations, and after reviewing this, I learned a bunch of these videos just from actually taking a look at everything because yeah, I haven't looked at my Denji in months, so I kind of want to get the spinning strike up. But anyways, let's go see how Denji performs. See what's going on. Oh, we got a bunch of rocking swords. All right, let's do this, Denji. It's gonna be us against the world. All right, so we got Denji out there. So he suns up a bunch of things. Not only does he have his normal stun from the powerful physique, he also gets it from the weapon. You know what? Let's give him a dumpling. What? Look at all those crits. The might also increases his crit rate. Might's a wonderful stat. So Denji gets nice and big. Who doesn't love a big Denji in the middle of the evening? And he spins. You can see the little shields above everything. That's the weakening armor. And Denji clears everything out. He is a beast. So if you don't have Denji, how do you get him? You can buy him in the shop, like every hero in the game. I would recommend holding on to hero coins and then going in and getting him when he is offered in a chest. I would recommend that for pretty much all heroes besides from Jax. If you really want Jax, participate in our contest on this channel and you can win a Jax. I gotta think of the next contest. But you can get Denji from in here. If you are rocking, you'll definitely want Denji in talk as fast as possible. If you are not rocking, Denji's an amazing hero. Not only will he drastically increase your gold cap if you are on a new server, because he can equip 2 Masonic Scepters, but single-handedly, he does a lot of damage. He offers so much for your armies. Specifically on your power side, he'll put a hole right through the enemy's front line, and then he will fill it in a ginormous dumpling rage. So how can you not like that? So anyways, guys, that is Denji. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to make it through the hero spotlights.